Test, test. There it is. Well, good morning, everyone. For those of us that are here in Texas, everybody else, man, maybe it's a good afternoon, it's a good evening, who knows what it is, but boy, it's a good something as we've got some NK Tabor football today. And I don't know about you guys, but man, I am thrilled and excited as Tabor are going to be taking on Jesenice. This game was a 1-0 victory for Tabor back in Sajana on September the 6th. The 1-0 is a little bit misleading. The game was really controlled by Tabor, though maybe would have loved to have a couple more of the goals that were in the back of the net. Yorosh Koran was the goal scorer as he put his first goal in the back of the net for Tabor during the first half with a header. So Tabor are going to be looking to try and get another 3 points. This 3 points going to be big here against Jesenice towards the bottom of the table. Jesenice, if for those of you that saw the telegram this morning, the smallest pitch in League Two, and so going to be a little interesting. Not anticipated to be the most fantastic pitch in the world. And so we also have a lot of players out. So, you know, a little cause for concern at the very least with Brishke and Hojic missing a game due to their 4 yellow cards. Now, here's the biggest, it's a little bit disappointing for me. So I think Brishke and Hojic got, I know Hojic especially, and I think Brishke as well, got their yellows last game as the official was very slow to pull out the card whenever one of the opposing players had a, kind of a late tackle. And so Brishke and Hojic, I think, were just so frustrated with the official by that point that they really came in. Eventually, the official pulls out the card, but and gives it for the tackle, but not before he gives descent cards to Hojic and Brishke. So they're going to miss this game, and Tabor are going to take a different look at the back line. And Destin, Mamona, Layden, and Pantelich are also out. So if you've seen the Instagram or the Facebook post, it's a small team today. There's only 6 men on the bench that are available. One of those is the keeper. So Tabor hoping to play a fairly clean game today as the guys are going to be in white today. And Jesenice going to be in the red. Hey, our starting lineup is Dennis Zariali, the big Italian, in goal. Rock Ludic, the 6'7", and you can see him on screen how he sticks out next to Jean Jabkar and Keenan Carroll. Verone Salya is going to join him in the back. It's going to be a gigantic back line, 6'7", 6'3" back there. Tariq Chandic, Jean Jabkar, Umechi Akwazaku, Keenan Carroll. Jan Kreitz is going to step in for Hojic, Dino Stancic, Medic Slacic, and Leon Sever are going to be your starting 11. As I might wind up switching the colors here at halftime when I have a moment of our scoreboard. You can see that I've got our fellas in red, Jesenice in white, and it's actually the other way around. But we'll take care of that issue whenever we get there, as we're getting ready to get things kicked off Leon Sever going to be wearing the captain's armband today. So Sever getting everything set up as the teams are going to switch directions. And I got to tell you, you know, this is going to be a big midfield game, I believe. A small pitch plus a little bit of a bumpy pitch. I think that, you know, guys like Sever, Jagbar, and Chandic are going to be very big. Can Tabor control the middle of the field, especially if it's going to be a little bit hard to get down the sides based on, you know, the size. Boy, you start having a difficulty getting down the sides just because it's so easy to cover across the back. And I say easy to cover across the back. It's, you know, you still have to play defense. We're about to get underway. Hey, we got a halftime interview with Jean Jabkar today, so excited for you to see that. As we're underway, I was even smart enough to start the clock with it this time. It's Tabor going to send it way downfield, and we're already going to get a foul on Stancic, as Stancic was trying to get a little position. Jesenice, a nice town boy right between two mountains. You can kind of see it in the background, right between two mountains with, or just north of the capital, Ljubljana. And boy, looking at pictures online, I got to tell you, when I head up there, I definitely want to go to a place like Lake Bled, and Jesenice maybe on that list as, boy, a great looking place and a nice venue here. And now we're going to get basically the same thing the other way, as Jesenice going to get called for a foul, going to bring it back. Tabor going to work through the midfield. Boy, that ball was absolutely wrecked in midfield, but they say play on. Kreintz with his first attempt down the side, and that ball is going to get knocked away for a throw-in. They're going to go quickly to Carroll as Kreintz, and Carroll's going to be offside. I think Equalizes not real happy. I think Equalizes was wanting a longer throw into him as he was just outside the 6 and had one man on him. As we saw, that was very effective last week, as Equalizes received the ball inside the 18 from the long throw, held up, and some great hold-up play, which is one of the things that we saw. We got a chance to hear from Equalizes as well. He really values that part of his game. Got a chance to see it well before he handed it off to Jean Jabkar, who Jabkar has had a massive impact on Tabor since arriving, as he's got an assist and he's got a goal. And for those of you that have been watching consistently, Jabkar is quite a big piece of this offense. Jesenice going to turn that away. Ball's going to get bounced around, and Salya, nice job coming up, as that was going to be a dangerous looking possible one-on-one if Jesenice got around Salya as Ludic was trying to work his way back. Ludic sticks a foot out and knocks the ball away. We'll get just another throw in. As the Jesenice player trying to make a turn. We're going to start getting some of these numbers down for you. I'm trying to keep an eye out for those. I've got the team sheet for Jesenice as well. Sometimes it happens a little quick. Zeriali is going to go up and make the catch on just a nice high ball that was in. So we're going to get started working out from the back. And, boy, you can really tell this is how much smaller this pitch is. Be interesting to find out. Is, boy, going down. Who was that? I guess that was Stancic that went down. Looked like he took a shove in the back. They say play on. Jesenice is going to drop back to their back line before trying to come up. They're going to try and go over the top. Ludic is right there, though. Anytime you're saying over the top, you're going to have to deal with the big man in the back. Stancic trying to give chase. That might be the answer to this game. It may be just a long ball game. Who gets over the top and avoids the packed house in the middle? And some more just back and forth. Somebody get the drums out. Gotta love it when they get the drums out. Carroll's going to chase it all the way back to Oscar Casagrande. That's the keeper. Carroll with a lot of speed. Going to force him to get away really quick. Tabor back in control. So Salya and Ludic in that back line. Ludic going to try and send a long ball forward. You know, Ludic, one of the things that his highlight film has really shown is that he's always looking for that long pass, and that's going to be the opportunity here for Tabor. They're going to have to really try and work. Nice job by Sever. Sever steps in, and they lose the ball on the next pass, and a long ball sent. Ludic back and forth. And the pass, trying to get it across. As number 72, that was not on the team sheet. Gonna have to take a look and see. And Ludic versus Kiniso Ngobisi. Ngobisi trying to turn the corner, couldn't quite get there. Ludic is right there, so you can see it's going to be the size of Ludic versus the speed of Ngobisi. I suspect that I'm probably saying that name wrong, as I don't think that is a Slovenian name. And I've been working hard. You guys have heard me. I've been working hard on my pronunciations. I'm even trying to learn the language. And you start throwing in the other nationality names in there, and I'm all over the place. So Sever's got some space. Slotchik down on the side. Slotchik's going to send the ball across to the middle. And the first goal, there it is! Akwazuku with a great goal! Slotchik sends it across. Akwazuku beats his defender. Side heads the ball into the net. Boy, redirects it with some power to the back of the net. And Umechi Akwazuku, we've been waiting on it. And we knew that it was going to be a good one. What a way to start this match as Tabor go up on top 1-0 after just 7 minutes. And Akwazuku with an incredible play. Oh, we're going to get the replay queued up for you, as, boy, we're off and running very quickly again. The ball's going to get headed away. And a throw in. So we've got the replay queued up. We'll send it back to a replay when we get a moment. As a corner, though, so Jesenice trying to answer in a hurry. Tabor comes out to play the short corner, and they're going to get set back up. All of the white jerseys are in the box. They're going to try and send this ball away. As the in-swinger to the back of the post is going to get, well, almost sent back across. It kind of went off of his chest. He almost, I wonder if he kind of misjudged that. Kind of got hit low off of the chest. And bounced around. Carroll trying to get on it back and forth. They're going to try and get it to Equaziku. Equaziku's going to try and turn the corner. Kicks a long ball to himself, and he's going to get outrun to the ball. They're going to call a foul on Equaziku. Well, this game is moving, so we're going to go to our dual screen replay here and get a chance to see as Equaziku comes across, and just a great ball. Equaziku stops on a dime, puts his foot in the ground, and just a wonderful goal. As another conversation, this conversation is going to be with Ivan Lozic. So Lozic has had two conversations to this point. He had one a little bit ago, and, you know, a third conversation's got to come out with the yellow, right? Boy, Sever's going to lose a ball at midfield. And coming in as right there waiting for it is Dennis Zariali. Really nice job. Salya came across to make things at least a little bit difficult, force him to rush, and I think there you see the impacts of the pitch as Sever tries to turn, ball bounces away from him, maybe even bounces over his foot a little bit. Kreintz to Ludic now, and Ludic is going to take a long look. Ludic goes across to Slotchik, just a little bit outside of his reach. And hey, how about a nice ball in from Slotchik? We've seen it as he's been playing better and better as the season has gone on. Had to miss the Goritsa game with an accumulation of yellows. Started to really be impactful in the last match, and then now we see him very impactful right away, running up and down the side. There's another ball bounced around in midfield. Nice job by Ludic. Ludic takes it away. Now Ludic is bringing it forward, dribbles around a little bit. Oh boy, trying to get it to Carroll. He had a good look at Carroll, but just hits off a defender. So there must have been a late change. I didn't have 72 in my team sheet, so I guess they made a late change afterwards, maybe an injury in warm-ups. As a long ball down the side, Stancic trying to run it down before it gets out, and he's not going to be able to get there. That ball's going to go to a goal kick. Tabor set up for a high press. Jesenice just going to send it long. Looking to try to move the ball on. Salya is going to win the header. Second header by Tabor. And Sever looking for a ball to Carroll. Carroll's got a shot. Carroll to Equaziku. Equaziku off the bar. Oh, he just missed the brace. Oh, it's Equaziku. The ball goes up off the bar. Oh, a great play from Sever and from Carroll. Oh, that close to 2-0. It's 8:15 in the morning here in Texas, and I'm not sure that I can take much more of this. Jabkar is going to get called for a foul. They're going to turn it over and send it to Jesenice. Well, hopefully a good sign or a sign of things to come. That's going to continue. Oh, excuse me, I do have 72 in my team sheet. That's going to be Rocco Mavra. I'm not sure who I didn't put in, but so ball's going to get sent down forward. Not really a lot of guys at the 18. They were spreading it out, trying to pull some of the defense out. Jesenice is going to retain possession as I'm going to flick it around the back. Ball bounces at midfield and going to get sent down. Kreintz, boy, difficult ball to try to control. Has tried to control it with the outside of the thigh. Not exactly an ideal attempt at control. As you see, Darian Matic down on the near side is, like all coaches do, turns around and instructs his bench about what he wished would have happened there. Jesenice bouncing the ball back and forth once again in midfield. Nice read by Ludic as he reads the ball early on and sent away. As Ludic comes out and it winds up bouncing off the leg of a Jesenice player once again. Stays in play, and Tabor eventually take care of it. Didn't see who that was across the middle that just sent it away. Another long ball from Jesenice. Pretty good crowd in Jesenice this afternoon. Chandic steps in the middle, sends it, tries to send it long to Equalizes. Ball's going to get headed away. Carroll's quickly coming behind, though. Equalizes tries to head off the back pass. Artai Rakipi is going to be able to get past him, though, and get the back pass. As keeper now trying to work around. Yeah, just check the chat. I do apologize. I will switch this at half. I had those colors wrong. I knew we were both red and white, and I completely guessed wrong. As here comes Slotchik down the side. Slotchik looking for Stanchich over the middle and just turned away at the last second. Well, easy, Slotchik. Let's not get a yellow card right here. That's going to be a foul on Slotchik. But another nice ball, so you can see that it looks like right now the best attack for Tabor is going to be the ball to Slotchik in space, let him run down the side, and then get someone in the middle. As right now Tabor have been able to spread out Jesenice and have runners across the middle. They've got 2 shots on goal, one of them in the goal, one of them off the crossbar on fast breaks that had just a Kwazaku in the middle of the box. Carroll with a second attempt. That ball bounces up. Sever sends it in, and it's going to be a corner. As they're going to say that ball bounces off one of the Jesenice players. Really nice job there as getting the ball down into the box. Carroll trying to get an attempt as Tabor right now continue to look dangerous. They've already got 1 on the board, trying to put more. So going to be an outswinger here from Jabkar, I believe. As Ludic and then put in. Is that Salya? Ludic comes, knocks the ball towards the far post, knocked away by the keeper Casa Grande, and then I believe that was Verone. Salya, welcome to the score sheet, Verone. As he was at the far side, that ball came up, and you could see the size disparity between Tabor and Jesenice, and then Salya winds up putting it away. As the big man with the big goal, Tabor go up 2-0. And off to a quick start for Tabor here in the 18th minute, as Tabor with 2 goals and another really good attempt. Jesenice, as we've seen, going to try to quickly get back on with the long ball. And there's Ludic. I'll tell you, as long as Ludic and Salya do what they do well and just be bigger than everybody else, as an offside on Stanchich, but as long as they do what they do best and they're big and they read those long balls, it's going to be really hard for Jesenice. They're just depending on the big mistake from the 2 men in the back. Jabkar is going to get called for a foul. And they say no more as we're with a 2-0 lead. Let's avoid too many of those yellows. Slotchik is going to get taken down illegally. Not allowed to do that much. We'll turn it around for ball the other way. It looks like it's a little bit windy. 2 balls on the pitch here. A little bit windy in Jesenice. Jesenice up north near the border. So more play in the middle as ball just kind of bounced around a little bit. Throw in now. Jesenice going to work out from the back as they're going to send the ball towards the middle. Header won by Jesenice. Nice job by Kreintz. Kreintz comes up. Knocks it away, and then Jesenice tries to send the long ball to the far side. And a heavy touch. They're going to play on after the foul. Is actually they're going to have to come back and see who that is. He went down hard. Going to be a, so they're going to go ahead, so going to be a card for Jesenice as he was off on the break, a professional foul as he gets kicked from behind. That's going to be, it looks like that's Stancic actually. So Dino Stancic goes down hard as he was looking to get another fast break for Tabor, one of the things that Tabor have done well. Jacob, thanks a ton, man. Last time Tabor had 4 goals. Back in October of 2024, are we going to see that again? It will certainly be interesting to see. Jesenice with the long throw down the far side. Going to be sent away by Slotchik. And now a throw to Jesenice. Ludic up, sends the ball to the far side and off and running. Slotchik looking for Equalizes. Equalizes wins the first header, battling. He's got Carroll down to the near side, turns around, back and forth. Boy, can't quite get the ball out from underneath his feet. As Jesenice just going to send the ball a long way down the side. Zariali and Ludic going to play a little bit of catch as one nice play by Equalizes, and eventually just wound up having 3 guys around him. He battled 2 off really well. Couldn't hold off that third. As you just get the feeling that Equalizes is going to get a few more opportunities this game. He's been effective in the previous 3 games. Starting to break through a little bit here. Would love to see multiple goals on the score sheet from Michi. Everything slows down just a little bit. This certainly feels like it's going to be a game of back and forth fast breaks. Who can find space? Speaking of space, here's Slotchik. Slotchik tries to bring the ball back. Ball bounces around a little bit. Tabor. Kreintz back in and away for a goal kick. excuse me, going to be a corner. I guess that's what happens when the ball goes off of the Jesenice player and goes out down there. So Sever steps in. Sever sends an outswinger across, coming up from behind. Looks like that was Salya once again. A little bit low. He goes up high, a little bit low, tries to get it back down on the ground to the near post. It just misses wide. And Jesenice will play out of the back once again. They're going to say up and over the top. So Jesenice going to have an opportunity for a free kick. Looks like they're going to take it quickly. Is the official going to try and head off any issues. And another long ball from Jesenice down with Ludic as physical play, and the ball bounces around. Chandic tries to get it away, bounces off, and then Kreintz looking way down the line. Akwazaku trying to corral the ball. Once again, eventually surrounded. Akwazaku gets in, gets a foot to it. It's going to bounce away, though. Thought, boy, that was almost impressive by Akwazaku just to corral the ball and maybe have a chance at another goal. But Jesenice going to have to play out of the back again. Is probably going to go long, actually. Tabor set for the high press, trying to win a ball back. And Casagrande just going to send the ball forward. Throw in to Tabor as Jesenice trying to deal with the ball in midfield, winds up bouncing away. And Slachik trying to get down the line. Slachik, nice job, gets to Akwazaku. Akwazaku turns back around and wins the throw as that ball goes off of Jesenice. There's Ludic once again with the header. As Kreintz going to send the ball forward. He was looking for Jabkar coming across, a little too far in front. As Salya goes up, Salya gets the ball. Jesenice weren't too thrilled with how high the foot was, but he was in control in front of the defender. Or excuse me, in front of the Jesenice player. And now Zeriali with the ball at his feet. All right. I apologize there, guys. Sorry for getting a little bit distracted as we're back up and running again. It's Tabor continuing to keep the pressure on, back and forth. And Ludic to Carroll. Carroll, we've seen Carroll just a little bit in this game. Now coming across the middle, gets inside. Mitchie trying to flick it back to Carroll. As that physicality, he winds up, I actually think he winds up winning a little too much. Gets a little bit of space from the defender, and as he's trying to lean into the defender, his body kind of goes away from the ball as he was just trying to flick it with his toe to Carroll. At this point, it's been the speed of Slochik up top that's really done a lot of damage. We know that Carroll can really run. We'll see how that plays out as the game continues on. Coming across, sending a ball to the near post is going to be Oktay Rikipi. Fairly harmless, though, trying to get a little bit of work done and send the ball towards the goal. The restart, going to look down the middle, Sever back to Salya. Jesenice employing a pretty good high press right now. Tabor dealing with it at the moment, but Jesenice trying to avoid that ball that gets down the pitch too far. Ball bounces up in the air, and Jesenice in control. Jesenice now with an opportunity. It's coming through, and the header is going to go in as they're going to call offside. Oh boy, as Tabor dodge a bullet there, offside coming across. We'll take a look at this real quick. Boy, as Tabor lose the ball, and so I guess that's what I get for talking about how well they're dealing with the press, is they wind up losing a ball. It bounces around at midfield. And then on the break, so you see they're going to call the offside. Take a look here. Oh, so the offside is going to be, so he was out in front of everybody on the tip. I was looking at the wrong player that was offside. The big man there, that was going to be Rocco Mavra, was offside. And now Jabkar tries to send a left-footed ball in. Ball bounces up a little bit higher than what he was wanting. And so another goal kick. Another ball coming, it's Casagrande dekes to the near side and then sends a long ball, trying to just win that ball across the middle, and a nice job running into space. And just outside, Mavra trying to turn around, just outside of him though. As the pass a little poor, but Mavra had found some space. Tabor with a 2-0 lead have had a couple of dangerous counters here. I had one counter and one attack. I'm going to make sure that they work around this, get back on track. I think it's always one of the dangerous things about a 2-0 lead. 2-0 feels fairly safe, but 2-0 that gets turned into 2-1, and all of a sudden you feel like you're on the downside of a bad momentum run. Jesenice wins the ball back, and now running across the middle. Nice job running him down from Jabkar. Gets it to Carroll, and Carroll to Kreintz. Haven't really seen Kreintz forward too much. They're just trying to play some solid defense in the back from the youngster, as Kreintz taken over for Hodzic. We've seen how effective Hodzic has been this year, as in the second part of this season, has been very effective, creating a lot of space, and has played very good defensively when he winds up on that back line. Hodzic has been good all year, and it seems like he's only continuing to get better. Jesenice currently in relegation standings. A nice turn to the inside is Mavra. Mavra is going to send it back out, and a hard ball knocked away by Zeriali. Boy, Zeriali just keeps it alive. Boy, that ball was a rocket. Nice reactions from Zeriali. As you can see, the ball gets knocked away, and then an absolute left-footed rocket from outside the box. They're going to go to the back of the box. The Veo cam didn't go with us, so something happened. Goes off of a Jesenice player and bounces away. Tabor going to start off once again, as right now the Veo cam more interested in the players warming up than the players on the pitch. Sever's going to take the ball on the run to Stancic. Stancic holds it up for a little bit. He's going to get the overlap to Slacic. Slacic turns the corner. Now he's heading towards goal. Slacic trying to find his space in. Goes to the back of the goal as Kreitz was trying to get in there. And the throw for Tabor. We had a couple of players in the box. Slacic, I think, maybe found himself a little bit closer than what he initially was planning on. As turning the corner, he was at full speed, gets the ball poked away from the defender, has to turn the corner at full speed. By the time he looks up, he's about halfway between the 18 and the 6. Tries to flick it to the back to Kreitz. Kreitz couldn't quite get there. But Tabor with some good pressure. Nice to see after a couple of pretty good shots and dangerous situations from Jesenice to see Tabor back on the front foot. So Jesenice currently sitting with 13 points as Gorica only below them. Gorica with 2 points, and Gorica won their first match of the season in their last match, which is weird to say for a team like Gorica, but I thought it after we played them. That didn't look like a team that was in last place in the division, not just in terms of how they played. You saw they missed some opportunities, which luckily for Tabor, but in terms of the speed and the physicality, it certainly didn't seem like a team that was just not any good, as they may be riding the ship before too long. We may see them in the second division once. Well, hopefully they will see the second division. Hopefully we don't see them in the second division. We'll be in the first division after we go on a crazy streak and have an epic tail-to-tail for the last half of this season. So in the 38th minute, long throw, tries to get it down to Equalizes, and at the feet of Carroll. Carroll tries to go with the left foot on a low ball. It's going to bounce around a couple of defenders. Jesenice in the middle, trying to get some space, working the ball up this time. Not having a lot of luck going long right now. Most of their luck has actually come, most of their joy has come from about the midfield stripe. Once they can get the ball to the midfield stripe, Tabor condenses down on them and they look for open space across the field. Nice job by Tabor, forcing the ball to go all the way back to Casagrande, the keeper. Now working through the midfield. Jabkar comes back, almost takes the ball away. Tabor really trying to... And really, at this point, you're just kind of waiting waiting for a ball to bounce away the way the pitch has been. Nice job by Ludic, and coming in, ball's a little too far away. Starting to see more space here in the attacking third for Jesenice. Tabor have given a couple of really good looks and good opportunities. That was more just I think it was just a little bit out of the reach of Mavra, but Mavra's starting to have a little bit of success. Would love to see Tabor shore that up and close that down, as I'm sure that will be a topic of conversation at halftime for Darian Matic and his defense. Another throw. Or Solic is going to get the ball back in. And Solikovic brings it forward. Getting free around Sever and now getting back to the outside. Salya is going to ensure that ball goes too far. And a goal kick for Tabor. As you see, basically all of Tabor's reserve players coming back from warming up. They only have 6 available players on the bench today. Long ball forward. Header's going to get won by Jesenice. They're going to play on. I think they were going to call the foul on Equalizes. Ludic is going to use that big body and wall off Mavra. It's kind of humorous, actually. You see Mavra, when he's around the midfield, looks like a little bit of a bigger player. When he gets up next to Ludic, he does not. As Ludic dwarfs basically everybody he plays next to. So Sever receives the pass back to Slacic, and now Slacic's in the middle with Chandic. Chandic has some space as that ball bounces up a little bit on Chandic, and so he's got to corral it. Salya going to be forced into kicking the ball into the crowd. So I got to tell you, I really enjoy the surroundings here at Jesenice with the hill and the stands on top of the hill. Looks like they got a concession stand there on the left side. Houses right on the other side of the street. Really nice battle. Back and forth from, I believe that's Jabkar. Really nice from Jabkar. We've seen the Jabkar so quick with his feet. Back and forth with 2 defenders around him. They've got every reason to win that ball, and they eventually give away the foul. Ludic is going to hang on to the ball while there's no press. Looks like Jesenice are more than happy to not press Ludic, avoid the possible break. Jesenice passing, boy, short, quick passes. Got to be careful with that, though. We've seen with the pitch, the ball is going to bounce away eventually, and you're going to be in a bad scenario. Nice job. As coming down, that's going to be a whistle on Jabkar. As Jabkar comes across, and Jabkar with the yellow early on here in the West, late in the first half, but early in the match. As Jabkar comes across from behind, trying to take the ball. Going to get him on the yellow. Oh, geez. Apologies here. All over the place. And the foul against Jesenice is Carroll using the body position. They eventually wind up having to wrap the arm around the shoulder and bring him down. So 43 minutes down here. Maybe a couple of minutes of added time. Although they've had the restarts very quickly, so we'll see how much time they actually add on. We're not going to be able to see it. The board happens right below us where the Veo cam is here. Panic controls, gets it to the outside, and Slacic is chasing, coming right across the middle and the back of the net. Mavra is there, and Mavra finally gets his joy as the first goal given up of Tabor here in the new year. Well, you could really see that as Slacic winds up having to chase. and Tabor late here wind up giving up a goal to bring it to 2-1. Boy, disappointing right there from Tabor here at the end of the half, as Jesenice close it down, and boy, they're already on the attack. They're trying to even it up here at halftime. All across, Tabor had so much effectiveness early on. Carroll trying to catch up to the ball in front of him. Tabor had so much effectiveness early on that you just thought it was going to continue and keep rolling. Jesenice, though, have been the more dangerous team over the last 15 minutes. Carroll back and forth. Akwazuku tries to send the ball forward. He's going to bounce off of a defender, and a throw is Tabor with just maybe a couple moments left. Kreitz to Jabkar. Jabkar turns, gets a little bit of space to the inside. He's going to back away. He's got Chandich behind him. Kreitz to Chandich. Chandich is going to send the ball into the back. Slotchik is going to be there. Slotchik has to corral it. Tries to flick it hard across, and it's going to be a corner. So Tabor win the corner to the far side. Nice job by Slotchik. Is not really sure that ball was designed to do anything other than rattle off of a defender. He had a big left foot that kicked that thing hard from not too far away. So Jabkar is going to come in. Jabkar looking for something to one of the big guys in the middle. Good looking ball and sent away. Carroll tries to corral, trying to get back in, and now they're going to give what are they calling here? They're going to call halftime. So Jesenice not too happy. They thought they had a break, but it's going to be halftime as Tabor with a 2-1 lead. Tabor with 2 early goals. Jesenice score right before half. As, hey, we're going to turn it over, take a listen to Jean Jabkar here for your halftime interview. For some reason, I'm going to have to reload the interview. All right, so stick with me for a second. I apologize. Don't go too far. It won't take long, and we'll get this up and rolling for you. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us once again here at halftime with Jean Jabkar. Jean, so first off, am I saying your name correctly?
Yeah, it's hard to pronounce in English, but it's pretty good. It's Jan Žabkar in
Jean
Slovenian.
Jabkar. Okay, I got to get a
Yeah.
little bit more of the j in there. Okay,
Yeah, but it's
Jean.
it's hard to pronounce in English, so
Yes,
no worries.
I keep running into sounds that don't they don't really show up in English.
Yeah.
And as we often joke on the stream, me and my Texan accent doesn't always do a great job with Slovenian names, but no, okay. So Jean, joining the club in the middle of the season. I know it's a 3 month break. How much time did you have to actually practice with the club before you guys started playing? I don't remember when you signed, and so I don't know when you started
So
practicing.
yeah, I'm actually on loan from Koper, but I started the preparations from the first day in Sežana. So that was, I think, like at the start of January.
Oh,
So we
okay.
had 2 months to prepare for the league. So it was plenty of time to get to know the team, to connect,
Yeah.
and I think we did a good job.
So coming on loan, I mean, does that mean that did you know that the loan was going to happen plenty of time out, or how did that kind of show up?
So actually, I was playing in the same league, but for a different team, on
Mhm.
loan from the first division team in Slovenia, FC Koper. I was on loan to a second division team, Dekani. And then at the half season, I started the preparations with Koper, with the first division team, and then I was already in contact with Sežana at that point, and we spoke a bit, and then when the clubs reached an agreement, I went on loan. So I started the preparations with Sejana.
Yeah. So what about, honestly, you said you were in contact with Shoshana. Was there something that was enticing, something that you liked about it? You said, "Hey, I'd like to play for this team."
Yeah, it was always a good team because it's a team that is close to me. I live only half an hour drive away, and obviously they were in the first division a few years back, and they keep coming in and out from the first division. So I had plenty of time to watch the team and also to play against them in second division. And obviously from the first match, I really like the way they play. I like the staff. It's very professional and everything. So it was not a hard decision for me to come here.
Yeah, yeah. So you talk about coming that they've been in the first division, that they're trying to get back in there and they're pushing for it. Obviously, you coming into the middle of this season, the table is interesting because NAFTA and Brindisi have had such incredible first half. How are you approaching trying to achieve promotion in where you're kind of 8 points down and you've got to make up a lot of ground?
So yeah, obviously we slipped a bit against Gorica, but I'm fully confident that we are able to that we will be able to gain these points back. And I think there's still a lot of games left to play, and the first two teams can't win all of them. So we just have to stick to our game, be
Yeah.
confident in our potential and our quality, and I'm confident that we will have the chance to catch up to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Okay, so you came in and you're a part of a whole bunch of signings that have come in for the second half. There's been a lot of turnover, and haven't lost a lot of momentum. Won two, drew one. What has it been like kind of trying to create that team feel with a whole bunch of new players trying to gel together?
So yeah, obviously it was a little bit hard because there were a lot of new names we had to connect, but I think we had a lot of time and we did many trainings, many games we played in the preparations, and I think we had a lot of time to connect, to get to know each other, and I think now the dynamic of the team and the connections and everything, I think it's on a really good level.
Very nice. Okay. Your goal last match was unbelievable. So obviously you're trying to make your way through the defense, and then you lose the ball and you wind up winning it back. Can you kind of walk me through, or if you remember that moment real well, can you kind of walk me through what was going on in your mind as you were moving through the defense?
So yeah, obviously the Hoja threw a long throw in, And honestly, my first instinct was to come to Mishi, who held the ball, to give him a solution, to pass it back to me. And then when he passed it back, I think the defender kind of intercepted it, and on my mind was just I was just thinking how to get in front of him. And then when he made the bad touch towards his own goal, I just capitalized on that. I put my body in front of him, and then I managed to get one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and then just shot it
Yeah.
beside his head.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that was a big goal. One of the things I enjoyed going back and rewatching was everyone's reaction. I think, Goritza, there were a couple of opportunities that got missed. And then as that game was going on last week, as the match was going on, there was a couple of opportunities, and it just felt like maybe frustration was building. When that goal went in, obviously there's the celebration about the goal itself, but were you guys on the field? Were you kind of feeling the buildup of a couple of missed goals, and you're just saying, man, we just need one to break this?
Yeah, yeah, of course. We tried really hard. We created a lot of chances. The ball doesn't go in. Of course, later and later in the match, it's really hard to get your head straight. It's frustrating. And then when a goal like this comes in the 80th minute, when everything is starting to fall apart, then of course all the pressure that is built up loosens up, and of course it's a great feeling.
Absolutely. Well, then, Jean, thank you so much for spending some time talking to us. Man, good luck this year. I'm sure as we're looking at this at halftime, I'm sure we're already up about 4-0, and we're going to win 8-0. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Scoreboard is fixed, and we are back from halftime. Well, I say if it was fixed. I really wanted to take that one off of the Jesenice score, but at the very least, I've got the colors corrected, and we're going to get started up and running once again. As Tabor coming out for the second half, up 2-1. And hopefully we're going to get refocused and put up a 3 before they put up a 2, and hopefully they don't put up a 2 at all, as Jesenice going to go with the just the kick it down out of bounds. See if they can force a throw from the corner. Tabor going to clear it back towards the middle of the field. Casagrande is going to receive it, tries to flick it on, flicks it sideways. Boy, so it backfires, and Jesenice in the situation they were trying to put us in. Now pinned back, and Stancic is going to give way to Slacic, as Slacic's going to come up for the throw, and maybe looks for the long throw. He's going to get a run up and sends it in. They're going to say that he was, we can say his foot came up, I guess. So we turn it back over. Yeah, Jean was a great interview. Jean spoke really good English, which you guys know always helps with me. But just a fun player to talk to. A 20-year-old kid, going to be 21 on Monday, and he is a great to watch. As here comes Carroll. Carroll cuts to the inside, and boy's going to get run over. Keeps the ball. Nice job. He's going to pull it back out. They're going to have to deal with it quickly, though, as Jesenice, and a nice job splitting the defense. Coming across Equalizes is just going to be outside. Oh, my gosh, how close was that? Nice job by Jan Kreintz. Boy, Kreintz comes across, deals with a difficult ball. Carroll tries to slip through, has to get it back to him. Kreintz splits the defense. 2 defenders on him. And eventually gets to Equalizes. That ball gets deflected, and DeVeo taking a wonder. As long as it stays focusing on the goal, I'm going to be okay, as I can feel a goal coming right here for Tabor. Ball's going to get sent in. Low ball is going to get sent away. Now Carroll flicks it out, and another opportunity to send it in. And way over the top, as a little heavy on the cross. So Tabor trying to find the magic that they had in the first 17 minutes of the first half, as they had 2 goals and 1 ball that bounced off the crossbar. A good start for Tabor at the very least. Going to see if they can shore up some of the issues on defense. And, you have to ask the question, as that ball kind of gets bounced away from Chandic, I believe. You have to ask the question. I guess we'll hold off on asking the question. There we go. As now you have to ask the question about if how much does not having Hodzic, how much does not having Briški in the back hurt in terms of communication? Obviously, Salja and Ludic are great players, but just in terms of the communication and who they're used to kind of leading the charge, is, Briški has been at the center of this defense for 2 years at least, maybe more than that, but 2 years at least. Equalizes is going to try and get on the end of this. Now Stancic, Equalizes fighting, is working back through it, and they're going to call a foul on Sever. It was a really nice job from Panic. And we've seen when Panic gets involved, he's got a lot of speed in the middle of the field. When Panic gets involved, it's actually created a little bit of trouble for Tabor, because he's been able to get the ball wide and down the field in some space and areas that Tabor were unprepared for. So Equalizes is going to drop back and get behind the ball, play some defense here. Jabkar and Equalizes up top. Jesenice looking to try to break a line here of Tabor and get themselves in a good position. A goal from really a goal from either team here really changes this game, as goals change games. I think it's one of the things that gets said all the time, and it gets said because it's true. The goal from Jesenice, and You're going to be flying high. A goal from Tabor kind of gives you a little bit of breathing room, and you feel like maybe you're back on the right track again. Kind of a tale of two halves of the first half. First half dominated by Tabor. And then the second half, I don't want to call it dominated because Tabor still moved the ball around a little bit, but boy, it was certainly the front foot for Jesenice. Jesenice just holding control here. Send a long ball down as Ludic is going to win that. Chandic to Slocic. Boy, heavy pass back to Slocic. Slocic just turns and gets it to the middle of the field, and Jesenice retained possession of the ball. Jesenice have had possession for a while here. They haven't really gotten too far down the field yet. But they keep looking. They're probing as boy had a run going to the near side. Couldn't quite get it on the underlap. Back and forth, some really sharp passing here in the middle of the field, and now looking for a cross. And pull it out and looking to run down the 18, and a nice job as they're going to get a foul on Slocic. As I believe that's Dokic. Dokic goes down just outside the corner of the 18. So Tabor with the size advantage, going to try and utilize that, but boy, dangerous situation here. They're going to put three men in the wall. I like it, Jeff. That's right. At least one of the two of us spoke good English. I'm with you, buddy. The number one language spoken in the world is bad English, and that's what I am fluent in. Boy, a dangerous ball sent across right at Zeriali. Zeriali goes down, makes the one-hop catches. Well, I didn't see who that was coming in front. Coming in front, if he would have gotten just a flick on it, that ball's going to be in the back of the net. Really glad it was a little too far in front of him. Tabor trying to win the ball back and see if they can get something started that they had started early on. That ball's going to be knocked away, and a throw in to Tabor. Slocic turns, looks down the middle for a Kwazaku, and Casa Grande is going to come out and just play the ball right at the 18 before he's going to turn it around again. Throw from Jesenice. They're not going to take it quick, as they're going to kind of allow the help to come down around. Now plays it to the middle. They're going to try and flip the field to the other side. And a run, nice run actually from one of the center backs. Sends it into the middle. Nobody came with him though. So Zeriali is just going to be able to knock it down and pick it up, as that was Solikovic. Solikovic on a nice run. Chandic. Slocic on the near side. Slocic is going to get closed down. He's going to go back to Chandic. Right now, Chandic. Each team really is just inviting the run forward from the defense. Setting back and not a high press. I'm saying if you either have to go long and give it one shot and turn the ball over, or you got to dribble it around us. As it's going to be a throw in. Slocic tries to hold it down. A long ball, tries to get the left foot to it, bounces heavy but kicked away by the defender. So Slocic now. Throw comes into Stancic. Stancic back to Slocic. And to Chandic. Now to Sever in the middle. Haven't talked about Sever a lot. Sever tries to get to the far side. Header across. And offside. As Kreintz offside, trying to come around the side. So we haven't had a chance to talk about Slocic, or excuse me, about Sever too much. And you know, we're probably going to try and pay a little bit more position to his positioning. as he's been involved a lot these past 3 games. This is the first time they really haven't been involved much at all. Ludic goes up and over the top, so they're going to call a foul on him, and they're going to try and get started quickly on the restart. And on the restart, they're too heavy on the touch. So in looking at with Stancic in the lineup, you're wondering probably Sever maybe playing just a little bit deeper. And especially with so much of it has been one of them was on a corner, one of them was on a fast break. It's not necessarily where you usually see Sever involved. Ball's going to get dropped back into the defensive third of Jesenice. They're going to turn around. Boy, Jesenice really controlling the possession this half. 10 minutes into the half, and Tabor have had a really good look at one attempt, but outside of that, haven't had a chance to even have the ball very much. Lots of defense, and lots of defense will wear you out because defense is constantly moving, constantly back and forth, having to cover your spaces. And sometimes at the beginning of the halves here, when they're just going and playing through the back and bouncing back across that back four, it's forcing you to constantly be running and moving. Would love to see Tabor get in control here, give themselves a chance to start setting something up themselves. Reitz is just going to head that ball away. As the fans have the drums out and working again, the goal at the end of the first half kind of reinvigorated the fans. Jesenice, boy, working across the top of the 18, trying to find some space. Stancic tries to close out, space down on the near side, looking for a cross, can't quite get it. And go heavy back, and boy, back to a Jesenice player. Boy, as Chandic kind of backed away, header across, nice job by Zeriali coming up. Saw Chandic coming out. I wonder if Chandic and Stancic were kind of thinking the other one was going to take it. So they back away, and that allows Hinoso to take the ball back. And then a pass to an errant pass. And Tabor lose the ball once again. Canoso comes down to the corner. Canoso going to battle against, I can't tell if that's Chandic. Oh, excuse me, that's Slacic. Slacic forces the ball back and out. Now Canoso back on the corner again, sends a long ball across. As first to it is going to be Tabor, and now Jabkar. Jabkar is going to go down, and a foul, and that's going to be a yellow. So a yellow for Jesenice as Jabkar was off and running. Let's see who that is, if I can get the player to turn around so I can mark it down. That way we can keep an eye on him. Oh, that's it. Well, that could be big. That's Panic. Panic is a big player for Jesenice right in the middle. They're going to go looking for Stancic. The ball's not going to get all the way to him. They're going to turn it over to Jesenice again. As right now, so Tabor trying to get that long pass, and the long pass is just not quite there yet. Jesenice go to the far side. Down the middle, Ludic sends the ball away, but back to Jesenice as Jesenice wins the second ball and holds possession. Another pass back behind the defense. And they'll get it started once again. This time coming forward with Solikovic. Solikovic looking down the near side, trying to get that cross. Slacic's just going to get in there and head the ball away. And another cross. Zeriali goes up, makes the catch. Nice job from Zeriali. Zeriali, to this point in this half, has been very decisive. come out and made some nice catches on balls coming across his 6-yard box. Chandler's going to bring the ball forward before he's going to lay it off to Salya. And Salya back to Chandich as they're just trying to move the ball down the field a little bit, look for that open passing lane. They've gone over the top, haven't really broken lines with the through yet. Salya's going to get closed down by Canoso, and boy, a heavy touch to come back. And so they're going to go to the high press now. Over the top is going to be Zeriali looking for Akwazuku. Nice pass down into Akwazuku, and Stancic down to Slotchik. Now Slotchik coming forward. Slotchik's going to send the ball across, looking for Stancic. The clearance almost goes right back to Akwazuku. And Jobcar trying to get on the end and hold it is going to turn it over to, boy, just a little bit, as again, and kind of what we saw in the Goritsa game is as Stancic goes and the ball is coming to the defender that gets in between he and the pass. And so unfortunately Stancic unable to work in front of the defender to be able to get to that ball. And I mean, he didn't have a lot of opportunity. When I say that, there's got to be a foul in there somewhere. It gets the arm wrapped around him as they're going to give the foul. And so, you know, I'm not, you know, Stancic, as he's moving to the back post, it looks like the pass just kind of comes to the middle of the box. We saw that about 3 or 4 times against Goritsa. So Jobcar is going to get on it as everybody's going to come down to the 18. Kreintz is going to be your safety man back behind. He's going to be standing next to the big man, Ivan Lozic. And now Lozic is actually going to come back. So everybody back behind the ball for Jesenice. High ball is going to get kicked away. They're going to stop. They're going to say there was a head injury. You guys know me. Okay, I'm wearing my Tabor shirt. For a guy who yelled, went down, and then rolled around on the ground, he sure did get back up in a hurry. I understand it's the sport, as that's going to be Marian Orsolich, as Orsolich still nursing his head. Maybe he's just a really tough guy. I don't want to dog him for being maybe really tough. Long ball over the middle. Ludic gets a foot on it. And then shoulder to shoulder. Chandich wins the shoulder to shoulder. Nice job. Kreintz coming forward. Kreintz looking for an outlet as he's surrounded by red jerseys. Boy, brings a lot of guys to himself. And then when he drops it back, everybody back in position. Stancic trying to come back to that ball. The pass is going to be too wide. Passing not amazingly sharp right now for Tabor. Coach Matic having a little bit of a conversation with the official. Sever tries to send the ball towards Akwazuku over his head, but it's going to wind up going out. Matic a little unhappy with the official about something at the moment. And now coming across, look out, because here comes Panic. Panic is looking, he's got a lot of space here. Panic flicks it across. Ludic has to head it away and head it out for a corner kick. So Jesenice with another corner. Jesenice have had several corners this game. I'm going to go with a right-footed in-swinger. Runners into the box, headed away by Akwazuku. Nice job from Akwazuku. Jobcar trying to get on the end of it, can't get there, but forces the long ball, or the pass that goes long, excuse me, and a throw into Tabor. Maybe an opportunity for a little bit of Tabor possession here. Alex, I'm glad you appreciate my humor there, Alex. As boy, ball quickly goes over to Jesenice. And back forward. Good job by Carroll. Carroll, another one of those guys, haven't had a chance to call his name much. Long ball sent in. Zeriali is going to reach out and make the play. Nice job from Zeriali. Is a fairly, I don't want to call it dangerous, but a fairly vicious ball coming in. That ball had some pace on it as it came in. Zeriali, very confident right now. Goes out and knocks it down, picks it up. He's going to drop a ball to the middle of the field. Akwazuku comes back, tries to flick it on to Stancic, and Jesenice back on the end of this ball. Boy, this is unusual for Tabor to be on the defensive side so much here in the second half. In the first half, it's kind of normal, as at times they were very willing to just play solid defense and get on the counter. Not really, at least from what the short amount that I've seen, and please, you guys hear me enough to know I'm no expert on this, but Matic really likes to be in possession, stay on the front foot. Right now, Tabor having a hard time just finding possession. Hard to get on the front foot when you don't have possession. And when you're missing a couple of your key back liners, a little bit interesting to be in this situation. But right now, Ludic and Salya trying to hold it down as Sever, boy, loses a ball and then gets knocked back away. Nice job. Sever hustles, get back to it, bounces it around. Nice job to Jabkar. Jabkar's got Carroll. Carroll now at the top is he gonna cut back? He cuts back, and looking again is closed down. Space for Slotchik. Slotchik's got to run away from goal, though. Is a little too heavy on the touch. Brings it back. Nice move to get it back. And now Chandic. Chandic is looking. Chandic trying to send a ball to the far side. And the header is going to go off of Carroll. Casagrande was there. The ball has to get too high around him. And the ball goes off the side net. A good venture forward for Tabor. Want to see a little bit more of that. As, boy, it started with a dangerous play and Sever losing the ball. And then they get back on top of it. As we've got a... Okay, boy, scared me there. Had a little bit of a loading problem. Buffering. Ludic just has to kick the ball away. Sends it down to Carroll. Nice job. Carroll controls it well with the chest. As now Carroll trying to beat two defenders. He's got a third waiting, and there's going to be a foul. As they're going to say that they were pulling on Carroll's jersey. And so Tabor wins this. Boy, is the 70-minute mark going to be the spot where Tabor can turn this around and start taking control of this game. As we get a whistle, are we going to get a substitution here? As we are. So player for Jesenice goes off on the far side. Coming in, be number 9. We'll take a look at who that is in a minute. Didn't see who that is that came off. And I'm not hearing an announcer to be able to listen for any numbers. So looks like 9 is going to be playing in a forward position. We'll kind of start taking a look at who that might be. Long ball coming in. Akwazuku trying to get on the end of it. Ludic, and going up is Casagrande. Boy, that ball just kept carrying towards Casagrande, and he comes out and makes a nice play up and over. As that ball's going to get sent to the far side. They're going to switch sides. Akwazuku can't quite get in front of that with the header. Back to the middle. Nice job from the white shirts. They close off that passing lane. Don't allow Jesenice to get back towards the middle. It's Panic looking for some space. Boy, back and forth. Nice job from Stancic. Stancic reads it well. Now Stancic's on the run. Here's Akwazuku. Akwazuku trying to run it down on the near side. Akwazuku's just trying to figure out, is he going to go for goal? Is he going to hold it up? Comes across, tries to go for goal. Can't wrap the foot around. They're asking for a corner. They're going to get the corner. So it goes off of the defender. So a nice job from Akwazuku. And how about that play from Stancic? Boy, as Stancic jumps on that and reads it very well. Takes the ball away. And now, boy, once again, the Veo Cam is more concerned about our substitutions. Tabor with the big man going to be standing right at the penalty spot. Akwazuku, Salya, and Ludic. Stancic is going to run across. Salya tries to get on the end of it as that ball's going to go over the top. Boy, Salya just a little too high for Salya. Slotchik tried to get back on the end and bring it back. It was out of play at that point. So number 9, Grando Jan Gurgis, is on for Jesenice. And Jesenice with a throw at the near side. As Gurgis in that forward position. "20 minutes remaining in this match. Jesenice have been largely in control of the second half. There's Panic. Sever trying to avoid getting the foul in a dangerous spot. Nice job by Sever backing away. Ludic reads it, steps in the middle. And another nice job. So there's Sever. Sever with a good job reading it, and Sever's going to get pulled back, but they're not going to call it, and goes over to Jesenice. Boy, Sever having a hard time right in the middle of the field today. Salya's going to get called for dangerous play, and a free kick. Well, another dangerous free kick is Jesenice kind of riding the momentum wave. Have had some really nice attempts at goal from some of these free kicks, at least some dangerous ones. They've forced Zeriali to come out and make a couple of difficult grabs, and some of the short hops, especially short hops in a pitch that's not the most amazing pitch in the world. Get a little bit nervous about them. The left foot coming in. They're going to go right for goal, and too high, so they're going to go off that back fence. Was going for goal was Dokic. Dokic trying to get that ball to dip down. Too high, though. So Zeriali is looking down the middle for Stancic. Stancic flicks it on. Doesn't quite get over the top of that Jesenice back. Boy, and going down quickly is Boy, is that Sever. Sever got hit hard right in the back. Make sure that he's okay. He goes down quickly, and they make the whistle immediately for the foul. I think that was either a knee or a hip right to the middle of the back for Sever, who's wearing the captain's armband today. That's painful. Moving up again, though, is Salya is going to send a long ball down to Carroll. Carroll tries to win it and can't get on it, but then gets on the second ball. Nice job. Carroll beats a couple of defenders. Nice job. Gets the ball forward for Kreitz. Kreitz sends it across and too high. Oh, boy. Saw Stancic coming into the back post, thought that maybe that ball was going to be able to sneak across. The ball from Carroll, as he pokes it forward, is a little bit heavy. Winds up just getting too far down. Kreitz coming forward, but a nice job from Carroll. Boy, Carroll really does a good job as he winds up battling through several defenders. Going down hard, holding his, was that his calf? One of the Jesenice players holding the calf or the knee. Hopefully it's the calf, not the knee. Don't ever want to see anybody go down and get seriously hurt, as he's still down. He's holding his ankle, actually. Jobkar tries to kick the ball out. Jesenice is the ones that not kicking the ball out. Jobkar trying to get it out. They finally do. Boy, who was that? That was Rakipi. That's what everybody from Tabor is like, hey, wait a second. We were trying to get it out for you. You're the one keeping it in. And right now, Stancic and Rakipi are having a little bit of a conversation, as is Jobkar. Everybody is pointing at Rakipi right now. Rakipi is no one's favorite person. Long ball. They're immediately trying to get down the field. Stancic comes back. Slotchik just swings it, hits it towards Akwaziku. Akwaziku trying to hold off. He's going to take a push in the back. As the push from Solakovic, and a nice job as Akwaziku with the body positioning winds up winning the foul. Sever is going to send Job Car forward, but they're just going to get it restarted. Not going to try and send a long ball in. Sever comes out. He's got some space behind him. Slotchik running down the near side, sends a cross in, and just, oh boy, I think Akwazuku was coming for the rebound. I'm not sure if he would have got there if he was going for that back corner, but boy, nice across from Slotchik as that ball kind of bounces through the 6. And they're going to call a foul there on maybe Kreintz. Salya to Sever. Sever flicks it on. Akwazuku controls. Nice control from Akwazuku. And then ball bounces away, but right on top is Sever. Sever reads it well, comes forward. Slotchik flicks it forward to Stancic. Stancic tries to head it on to Sever. Ball gets bounced way in the air, and Tabor can't get on the end of it, and Jesenice are on the run. Jesenice with Dokic down the near side. Dokic trying to take on, I believe that Salya came out. Salya does a really nice job. Sever tries to get the ball away. Right on the end of it, though, is Jesenice, and a right-footed shot's going to bounce up, and a save from Zeriali. Oh, boy, Zeriali does a really great job going to his left, knocks the ball away. It was a low bouncer. Zeriali with the save, and now a corner from Jesenice. Everybody in the box from Tabor and from Jesenice. In swinger towards the back, gets flicked away. Jesenice back on the end of it, though. They're going to drop it back. And across, trying to hold on. Right in the middle, couldn't tell who that is. One of the big men for Jesenice. Carroll tries to flick it up over and goes down. It's going to be another foul on Tabor in just outside the 18. Chance after chance here for Jesenice. Tabor unable to replicate what they did in the first 17 minutes. Lined up at the 6. They're going to go to back post. Ball sent across. Low shot and into the net. Tabor gives it up as they go near post. And Tabor have lost their 2-0 lead. Jesenice, fighting relegation, are trying to win this point. Tabor have not been in control of this second half at all. And a difficult moment here as Tabor got to find a way to get back on this. Jobkar quickly back to the spot. 13 minutes left in this match. And really, to get it started, Tabor just had to figure out a way to maintain possession of the ball long enough to be able to do something. Is that another rocket free kick from Jesenice? They've had a couple of those. Stancic is going to try to get on the end of that, tries to control it with his chest, and then a pass that goes wide. Another long pass is Chandic and going down. Wait. And he goes on. Chandic is going to get a yellow card. Boy, what an interesting yellow card there is. When the Jesenice player goes down holding his side. Chandic gets the yellow. So Panic is going to be on the free kick at the top. The 18 is going to be everybody. He's going to try and send this in. High ball to the back post, headed away, another shot. One blocked from Tabor and then kicked away. I say kicked away, it was a shot attempt, but it goes wide. Zeriali is going to send the ball forward as he's just going to go towards the far side of the field. Stancic, ball gets flicked back to the middle of the field, back where all the red jerseys are. White jerseys were moving to the bottom side, and now Jesenice back in control as Tabor. Stancic steps in. Nice job. Stancic gets, boy, they're going to, okay, so Stancic gets taken out, but they say he gets the ball. Here comes Kreintz now, or excuse me, Jabkar. Jabkar to Sever. Sever back to Slotchik to Zabkar, and that ball's going to go out. Another pass that goes out as, boy, Tabor. And a substitution. Boy, is that a triple substitution coming in for, or double. Number 7, number 2, 11 and 16. So coming out is going to be Stanovic. He's going to give way for Jovanovic. And Stanijevic is going to give way for Amatai. Long ball down to Carroll, going to get cut off as Carroll unable to get there in time, but they're going to give away the throw. So Carroll comes up quickly, trying to get a throw back. He's going to give way to Kreintz. Kreintz to Jabkar, back to Kreintz, back to Jabkar. And in trying to get it back to Kreintz, boy, just not on the same page with the passes, and now a throw into Jesenice. Where did that team that was playing for the first 17 minutes of the match go? Everything was working. They were sharp with passes, sharp with moves. Now passes are becoming difficult to complete. Free ball down at the end of the box and a corner. As Jesenice win a corner off of, well, they're going to go quick. Panic quickly runs it. Tabor wasn't really ready for it. Zeriali's there to make that catch. Zeriali's going to run forward. Running forward is going to be Stancic. Can he get on the end of it? Stancic gets hit hard. Okwaziku comes across and he's going to be offside. Oh, boy, I was watching the official to see where they were going to say that was, as Stancic is going to be offside. Kind of figured that was going to be the case. Just couldn't quite stay on. Boy, but at least a positive move forward from Tabor. As Casagrande is going to take his time to get everything reset. Ball forward from Jesenice. Boy, can Tabor find some magic with just about 7 minutes to go in the match? Jesenice going to be able to kill a lot of time. Tabor going to have to stop giving the ball away, especially for balls that go out. A foul against Jesenice, and Okwaziku gets pulled down once again by Solikovic. Jesenice going to play a little keep away with the ball. Sever is going to retrieve it. Sever gets it down to Slotchik. Slotchik has some space, corrals it, sends it across. Okwaziku, it's too high for him. They're going to have to back out and come around again. There's the pass and back out. Come on, Veocam, catch up with us, buddy. And a throw in. Boy, that ball just over Okwaziku's head. And another throw in to Tabor. Go to Ludic so they can move it down. Oh, boy, and a bad pass from Ludic. Salya has to kick it forward. Salya goes down hard. Are they going to give a yellow? Is he holding up a yellow? So Salya comes in, kicks it forward, and they wind up, I think they wind up giving a yellow to the Jesenice player that was coming forward trying to make the play. So Salya back up, down by the 18. They're going to send a long ball in. Oh, boy, and they're just going to give a foul right back to Jesenice. Wonder if the official felt bad for giving the, if he was regretting his decision. It was a very quick foul as Equalizes was playing for positioning. Well, I'm not really sure what it was that he was calling as you look back at the replay. Casagrande is going to read his laces, retie his shoes, give thought to where he wants to raise his children, and then he's going to send the ball forward. Ball steps in front. Sever tries to win the ball back. And Jesenice back in control. Long ball to the near side and flicked on. Nice flick on. Chandic trying to get a turn, foul in his own half. They're going to get it restarted. As they're going to make him take the ball back. And Zariali comes up. So Zariali comes up, sends the ball forward. Kwaziku, Stancic, Slocic. Can Slocic do something here? Slocic has to pull it out to Sever. Sever pulls it down to the near side, trying to get around the corner, goes into the middle. Ball's going to get rejected right in the middle. Sever trying to get back on the end of it, and it bounces away for a throw-in now to Tabor. As down on the field, Jesenice not really happy about something in their own box. We're going to get a substitution as coming in for Stancic is going to be number 18, Claudian Likulia. Sorry, I have not practiced that name before. Claudian Likulia in for Tabor, as down on the field now is a Jesenice player. Tabor's going to take a chance to get a couple of drinks here as they look at the Jesenice player and make sure he's okay. So he's going to come off, probably get substituted for, honestly. Can't imagine that at this point in the match you would wind up having somebody be off for 30 seconds. Yeah, Slocic bounces the ball, waits for him to come off. Just takes one kick, though. Could change everything as they do. A new player on for Jesenice. Number 5, Armin Talic. Slocic sends the ball high and down the middle. It's just going to get headed away as Chandic trying to win the header. And the ball bouncing around. Kicked away, and a throw-in to Jesenice. Sever to Kreintz. Kreintz going to try to, tries to bring it back, and a bad pass. Ludic unable to get there, and now Jesenice looking for 3 points. Sends the ball across, and oh boy, it's going to be a foul as they're going to go back the other direction. As, that's going to be Salya. Salya has taken a couple of late hits. Salya wins the ball, gets slid into. Long ball in. Equalizes gets on the end of it. Can he find a way? Slocic is going to go down. They're going to win the ball. Slotchik's going to stay down. They're going to kick it out. Slotchik up and rolling again. Slotchik turns it out. They're going to drop it back to Sever. Drops it back to Ludic. And across. Ball in as a low ball. It's going to be returned out and going to be a throw in. At the 90th minute now, so we're just working on borrowed time. Tabor trying to get a ball in and find a goal. They're going to go with a long throw, looking for Equalizes. Header straight up as they're going to give an illegal throw. And so Jesenice now going to get the ball back. And down on the field is a Jesenice player. They're going to stretch him out as the official takes a look at his watch. Another injury stoppage. As this game is quickly marching to a draw, and Tabor are going to wind up with the bottom two teams getting 2 points. Jesenice looking down the field. They're just going to try and get it out from the shadow of their own 18. And that's going to be a yellow on Ludic. Ludic with the professional foul gets the yellow. And they're going to set up, and boy, with maybe one of the last kicks of the game, they're going to try and win the 3 points. This could be huge for Jesenice here, as they've been very dangerous on these free kicks. They're just going to get it started back towards the middle. They're going to leave a lot of guys at the 18, and really what that does, leaving all those guys at the 18, makes it difficult for Tabor to win a ball back, as they've got to stay down and not bring anybody out. And a foul. Tabor now have to turn it around very quickly. And that's going to be a yellow as he kicks the ball away. Official keeping time on his watch once again. 92 minutes. Tabor probably have just one more chance. They've got to get the ball down towards the field. And again, they can't keep possession. Boy, back out and around, and now a chance for Jesenice as that ball's going to get sent away. Jesenice more than happy with that, though, as opportunity for just a little bit of a clock to tick off. Tabor have to get it all the way down the field and put it in the back of the net. Official looks at his watch, whistle goes to his mouth, and there's the game. As Equalizes about ready to get into a fight. And that's the ball game. As they're trying to pull Equalizes off. Careful there, Michi. We're going to get some buffering. The official, I'm going to stick with it. The official points at Umechi. Umechi kind of gave a shove there at the end. Concerned that he was going to give him a card, and we really don't want that to be a red. Umechi very frustrated, as looks like the buffering is going to continue. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a exciting start with a relatively disappointing end. 1 point in Jesenice, so Tabor continuing to have to kind of work uphill here in the fight for promotion. Thank you so much for joining me, and hey, we'll see you next week.